First, I want to say I stand here representing many of Garland's friends throughout his life. I've been blessed to speak on their behalf and on behalf of many of his friends from our childhood. Welcome to the captain's table. Well, this was a tough one, but I'm ready. You see, we came from an area called the Vamp. Train horns would wake us up every morning and put us to sleep every night. Railroad tracks so close to our homes that you could see the glass of water or the glass of Kool-Aid vibrating on the table. We were not victims. Our parents would not allow pity or self-doubt, nor fractured families to be an excuse for failure. Our mothers were friends and band together to make life a little better. We were not victims, we were products. The Vamp boys sometimes ate at our friend's house. We borrowed sugar, milk, and occasionally borrowed a belt. But most importantly, we borrowed love. Yeah, that's right. It seems that if you're not getting what you need, then you must allow the neighborhood to step in. It takes a village. The families of the Vamp stepped up and stepped in. Garland and I often talked about being born at the right time in the right place, without regrets. You see, Garland was my classmate. We've been friends since the beginning, it seemed. We played football in the streets and baseball at Baker's Field. We ran track to the Bridges store to get a loaf of bread. Every now and then we would race the train, or ride the trains, or chasing or running behind the DDT man's truck, having so much fun. With trained eyes of neighboring mothers, watching, praying, and then calling, making dreaded phone calls that would result in cleaning the bottom of your mother's house shoe. They wouldn't let anything get away or get by. Not everyone played sports, but that didn't matter because we played together. He left and went on to Lamar Middle School, and I went to Travis. In high school, he was the enforcer on the basketball team. He was a great rebounder and a physical, strong defender. He could surely defend. In basketball, every team needs someone that will invoke fear in the paint. He was crazy, edgy, and strong and threatening at the same time. We appreciated that as his teammate. But the problem was, Garland, the enforcer, had a problem turning off his role on us, his teammates. I must admit, at times we were a little scared of his antics, wondering what was coming next. I remember at the end of practice, Garland would rush through his free throws so he could get to the shower first. Man, we hated that. Garland would get to the shower first and spray everyone with cold water for 10 or 15 minutes. Can you imagine that, standing naked, running around, being sprayed with cold water for 10 or 15 minutes? We would scream for the coach to tell him to stop, but Coach Brownlee would ignore us. I guess he knew the enforcer couldn't help it. We realized that we couldn't get mad at him because he was the crazy enforcer. We wanted to keep him on our side. Garland was one that I sounded things off of. Many of my projects went through him first. You see, at our age, we had and still have big dreams of helping others. But I want to tell you today, he achieved his. He worked hard to get here today. You see, someone's journey to salvation should be respected and celebrated. So today, we must celebrate the life, the impact, and the work to get others on track. We would talk 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times a month. We don't know. We didn't even keep count. We just talked, laughed, and encouraged each other. You see, being a man, it's really important to talk. Sometimes the greatest reward of having a friend is having someone just to talk to. That really helps. Garland had many roles for others. We would talk about his role at his church and helping others. Helping others has always been important to him and his family. He received that gift from his mother, Myrtle Captain. We formed the captain's table in honor of her. Then again, we must realize and understand and accept that we don't always understand God's plan. Sometimes we believe that we are preparing for something, but God is preparing us for something else and something better. You see, Garland was the captain of our team, and so we formed the captain's table in honor of him. We didn't realize it. Well, you see, I grew up with all of them: Brian, Flakes, Latrell, and Garland. But I must tell you today that his purpose was served. We fell in love with his firecracker wife. She is also a firecracker in that pulpit. As Garland and I would be talking on the phone, I would ask about Delina. I call her DK. He would quickly and respectfully say, "She's in there working on her church message, and I'm gonna stay out of the way of that and support that." Man, he was so proud of his wife and God's purpose in their life. That's why we must celebrate today. See, God made it possible for him to be more than two things at the same time. Because the guy I just described to you was gentle, kind and soothing, trusting and caring. Garland would say, "Ethel, we have to give flowers to these mothers while they're still alive, while they're still here." So Garland would send flowers to the mothers. Look around. Garland, the enforcer, Mr. Flakes, have delivered more flowers than anyone I have ever met. Just his presence gave us flowers. I remember he had flowers delivered to my mother and some other mothers. But my mother, she was so overwhelmed by the touching gesture that she called me to brag on him. Can you believe that? She called me to brag on him. I loved it. And from time to time, you'll run into someone so special that you wish that they would live forever. You wish they would live forever because of personal memories and selfishness. I respect Garland too much to do that. His work speaks for itself. I know better than that. I'm sad, but I'm grateful to experience him and his wife. But Garland would want me to tell you something. Bruce, tell him that I'm okay. I'm not tired. Don't feel sorry for me or my family, because I hit the lottery today and I was called home as a reward for my life's purpose. I worked hard to achieve my salvation, and I got it. Tell my children to remember all that I've taught them, and my grandchildren as well, and to hold on and to keep working for your personal salvation. He would also want me to remind his friends, his family, and his co-workers and his church members, brothers and sisters, that he's had a super journey. Today, we must celebrate. We must celebrate Garland Flakes, the man of the hour. Well, I must close by asking you how you're feeling right now. You see, Garland would like for everyone to say, super. How are you feeling today? Super. God bless you today. And I'll talk to you later. Overcome. Words for You by Bruce Etheridge from the Captain's Table. I love you, brother.